If you've been playing OSRS in the last month, you've probably experienced horrible world lag. I remember logging into a UK world 2 weeks ago I was literally hopping to a blast furnace world just to buy some gold ore. And it was unbearable. I mean, truly unbearable. And this wasn't even a UK world with a huge pop. It only had 650 players on it, but it was the laggiest experience I think I've ever had on this game. And all the US worlds have 1,200 people on it at all times, and it's out of control. So Jagex has produced a blog telling us their plan basically for new worlds. And I'm not really the technical kind of person for this, so I'm sure somebody in the comments will explain this a little bit more for little bits that I'm going to be confused on. But I am very excited about this. So their blog is titled More Worlds, More Power, The Road to Greater Capacity. And this is absolutely essential with a game like ours, which is absolutely skyrocketing in numbers. I don't know about skyrocketing, but it's continue. We're going to see a graph here later in the blog. The amount of players is actually quite staggering how crazy it's been just in the last year of growth. So it's a really exciting time. They've even coined it the Platinum Age or something like that. Yeah, Platinum Age. Look at that. That's crazy. And they're not wrong. This game is absolutely thriving. It's fucking cool to see. And I'm glad they're addressing this because they have been kind of putting out some new worlds, but there's something deeper to the infrastructure that needs to be addressed. So we're gonna cover it all here right now. By the way, all these rambles are on Spotify. Go check it out, linked in the description and pinned in the comments, boys. If you've been delving deep, roaming the lands, or standing in a crowded GE recently, you've probably noticed that old school is more alive than ever. The Platinum Age is real, and we couldn't be more thrilled. I've never actually heard the Platinum Age. Is that them just going above and beyond the Golden Age? By the way, these Sobies are fucking delicious. This is a strawberry apricot Red Bull with some oat milk in it. I know that sounds crazy for those that don't know, but it's like a fucking Sobie. It's delicious. Just a little bit of oat milk. With so many new and returning players joining the fun, demand for game worlds has skyrocketed. We're working hard behind the scenes to meet that demand, and today we want to update you again on what's been done, what's coming next, and why this isn't just a simple case of add more servers, lol. add more servers, lol. All right. Do you guys say lol or LOL? I feel like if you grew up with RuneScape, you say lol. At least that's me. I say lol. I don't fucking know. But anybody that grew up just with texting, they say LOL. You know what I mean? Am I the only one that says lol still? We've recently spun up a whole bunch of new worlds, an additional 43 in the last 3 weeks across the US, UK, Germany, and Australia, with more on the way. But here's the catch. Throwing new worlds online isn't quite as straightforward as it might seem. Behind each game world is a complex infrastructure, and if we just keep stacking on more without addressing the underlying systems, we risk creating performance issues, lag, and instability across the board. That's obviously not something we're okay with. So, what are we going to do about it? We're continuing to roll out new worlds as player demand continues to rise. These will be added in staggered fashion to help us monitor performance and avoid overloading our current capacity. Next week, we're aiming to add an additional 20 US worlds. Thank God. Even though they're saying this is not going to be sustainable. We're upgrading our infrastructure to remove limits and give more breathing room to each world. Work is ongoing and progress is accelerating towards being complete. Hell yeah. We're launching cloud-hosted worlds, starting with US East Coast to offer better scaling and future-proof our server architecture. We're aiming to have this done within the next month. Cool. Okay, so yeah, that's the part where I'm just a little bit lost. What's cloud-hosted worlds? We're going to obviously find out kind of a little bit more about what that means, but I've already kind of taken a brief look at this, and there are some terminology that I'm just, what is that? What this means for regional servers. Once our cloud-based hosting is running smoothly, it'll unlock something players have been asking about for a long time: regional servers in new territories. Rather than relying on physical hardware in every corner of the world, front-loaded capital expense, logistically tricky, this shift lets us scale into new regions without setting up shop from scratch. That means we're one step closer to supporting players in regions like South America, Southeast Asia, or beyond. We're not quite there yet, and each new location will still require some bespoke work, but we hear you, and we're building towards it. If all you're interested in is a quick TLDR, then this is where you can stop reading. If you're interested in learning more about our server infrastructure, keep on scrolling. So we will take a brief look at this. Again, as I've already said, I'm going to be lost with the terminology. But look at this chart right here. Total old school RuneScape players. So I feel like this is actually not the right term. You should be total old school RuneScape. Isn't this like the peak that it hit concurrently? I wouldn't say total old school RuneScape players. Isn't that kind of misleading? Isn't the total old school RuneScape players like a lot more than that? I think this is like the high, like the concurrent high that it reached at any point. I'm pretty sure that's what it's kind of showing. Surely that's it, right? Anyway, look at this. This is from this year. Like literally, this is March, April, May, June, July, August. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, is this what happens every summer? I'm sure there is a spike in the summer, but this is insane. I wish it would show a full year. I wish it would have gone back a full year to August of last year to see. This is nuts, though. With great player counts... At this point, we turn to our wonderful Spudworks from the infrastructure team who can peel back the layers behind our worlds much better than anyone else. With great player counts come great server responsibilities, and the hamsters are working overtime. They just admit they're just fucking hamsters in their wheels. Let's quickly explore how OSRS worlds are currently hosted and what we're working on the immediate term to provide more capacity and steps we are taking to make our world hosting capacity more elastic going forward. Being a Spudworks post, there will be a bit of a tech jargon to deal with, and as we in the infrastructure team are such a utilitarian bunch, graphs and diagrams lifted directly from internal sources, but we'll do our best to explain as we go. Let's get started. Hosting an OSRS world. We'll start with how Jagex hosts OSRS worlds today. These are often comments speculating about this, there are often comments speculating about this, so let's take a peek. Game worlds are run on virtual machines, multiple software-defined computers with a single physical computer known as a hypervisor. These virtual machines are hosted in regional commercial data centers to reduce latency between the worlds you lovely lot. Public cloud, in our case, Amazon Web Services, is deployed at Jagex, but right now its use is confined to our core infrastructure, which provides global services such as the Jagex account system, player saves, and data analytics. What is this little guy? I see the gnome child, but what is this little person? What is this? Anyway, is this like RS3? Is this like the gnome child of RS3? Please don't tell me that's what an RS3 gnome child looks like. Please, God. Yeah, so, okay, let's see. Yeah, this chart is just, I'm just lost, but hopefully it makes sense to some of you guys. Jagex Royals. For those interested, here's a very quick look at our hypervisors. We employ 4 gigahertz Intel CPUs. These are reasonably high frequency for server grade CPUs, where there are trade-offs between single core performance, overall core density, and thermal output. We run VMware vSphere with Linux virtual machines, but may move away from VMware in future. Providing more worlds, more players, more worlds, we hear you. As much as we'd love to simply double the world count, things get complicated. While we have some headroom in our edge tier, adding a large number of new worlds will increase the ratio of virtual CPUs to physical CPUs. Allocating more virtual CPUs than you have physical CPUs is called overcommitting. And while common in virtualized environments, pushing this ratio too high will impact world performance, as many busy virtual machines compete for execution on a finite pool of physical CPUs. As some of you have pointed out, the game can start to feel a bit clunkier when worlds start to fill up. Really? Contention for CPU time as described above can be a contributing factor, one we aim to minimize, but there are software factors too. To shine a light on the software side of tick performance, we're handing the reins over to the OSRS engineering team to share some insight. Inside a game world, referring to our servers as game worlds is an apt description, as each server is literally simulating the entire world of Gielinor. That's a big world, with tens of thousands of NPCs and up to 2,000 players. Those NPCs need to wander around, and those players need to access their banks and the trees they chop down to respawn. So what they're saying is we all need to become a UIM. And each tick, we need to send some messages back everyone's devices to let them know what changed. A game world has a lot of work to do every tick, and one of our jobs is to make sure it all happens as quickly as possible. Many of you will know that a game tick lasts 0.6 seconds, but for the game to feel responsive, we aim for the actual processing time to be much lower. We also aim for that processing time to be consistent each tick, else the game's 100 BPM metronome feels off. It should be fairly obvious that the more players that are on a game world, the more scripts we have to execute, and the more work our core systems need to do. There's also 20 years worth of different things that a given player could be doing, and the amount of processing time required for each varies wildly. Right now, while our game worlds are performing reasonably well under load, it's a bit worse than we'd like. So we need to keep a careful eye on server performance. Thankfully, we can monitor this in a lot of detail to find out where the server is spending most of its time. We keep a list of the top 200 most expensive gameplay scripts and constantly chip away at them to maintain the health of the game. When Varlamore launched, an unexpected challenger scuttled into first place, the Gemstone Crab. I haven't actually touched the Gemstone Crab. Have you guys? Let me know down in the comments. Is that fun to do? It's like everybody there? Is it worse than Winter Todd? At least like the game or the public chat. Is it bad? This pointed us straight to an inefficiency in its code, which we patched up quickly. Beyond scripts, we are always on the lookout for optimizations throughout the core engine. The script runtime itself more than doubled in speed from an optimization pass in 2022, and more recently, the system responsible for transmitting area updates to your client has had a huge overhaul in preparation for sailing, bringing with it faster algorithms and improvements to CPU cache efficiency that save several milliseconds off of each tick. Ooh, every millisecond counts, boys. Now we'll hand back to the infrastructure team to share our next steps. Immediate steps. We'll continue to add more worlds to help meet the increased demand. We plan to roll these out in phases rather than all at once to let us monitor their performance impact. This week, we've added 15 new worlds and converted 9 free-to-play worlds into members worlds. Thank God. Next week, we are planning to add another 20 in the US. Next step. Cloud-based burst capacity. Since before the recent growth in player numbers, we have been beavering away on migrating our core to AWS and making AWS more interoperable with our existing on-premise infrastructure. You may have noticed on the previous diagram that EU-1's backbone lines are already orange, representing the ability of AWS Direct Connect DX circuits, dedicated network between Jagex and AWS. Adding these DX circuits everywhere will allow our regional edge tier locations to burst sideways into AWS when extra capacity is needed. This work will also enable us to support new, entirely AWS-based regions where appropriate. We're not quite there yet, but the wheels and hamsters are in motion. So again, we already saw this. Excuse me. Interesting. Yeah, this is just something that's not going to compute for me unless I had somebody just explaining this graph fully. We know you care deeply about how our game plays, and we're committed to making sure your experience stays stable, smooth, and fun. Thank you once again for being a part of this incredible journey, and welcome to all our new adventurers. You picked the perfect time to join us. Got thoughts, questions, or potato-based theories on your own? You can discuss this update on the 2007 Scape subreddit, the Steam forums, or a community-led OSRS Discord. I like how they just don't even say Twitter anymore. Like, they've all fucking just exited Twitter. Good for them, honestly. It's just nothing is happening. It's literally just like the elite players circle jerking each other at this point on Twitter or X. Anyway, I'm really what the? Who's this? Who's this little pig guy? Guys, who is this little pig? Is this a pig? I think it's a pig. It's pink. Or is that a rabbit? I don't even know. Cool. So I'm really excited about this. I'm just honestly excited about the game's growth. It's just really, really cool to see. I don't know about you guys, but it is just awesome seeing so many players. I feel like because of I feel like we were actually more efficiency brained like a few years back than we are now. I feel like a lot of players have kind of shifted the way they play the game, where it used to be very, very, very min-max. I feel like a lot of players have maybe it's just a little bit of like how I've seen the game in recent years, but it feels like a lot more players are kind of laid back these days. Even the higher levels have kind of taken a step back and are just kind of enjoying the experience and not so focused on like, you know, just I don't know, not having anybody in their area so they can, you know, maximize their XP per hour or whatnot. It just feels cool playing in a more casual way, seeing so many players. And even though in a lot of areas there is that competition for resources, it just feels cool knowing that there's players around. What does suck is when you see a player just loaded with bots, which, by the way, can we fucking address how obnoxious the GE has become with spammers? Jagex, listen, I've said this so many times, but you need to get some more player moderators that are just there to ban people that are spamming websites and spamming just gamble. I've been seeing this fucking Ice World shit that just literally every 5 fucking seconds on any Grand Exchange world, you see these bots log in and say something about World 302, Ice World, some shit. Probably some gambling thing. I don't even know what's going on. Some creepy shit's happening on that world or something, because there's so many fucking bots that are spamming it. And it's just one of those things where, like, yes, I could download a plugin that like mutes anybody below a certain combat level, but I actually had that installed for a while, and people like fans of mine were like level 3 skillers that would just be around the game talking to me, and I would recognize that they're actually like being muted because I was like with a friend and they're like, hey, are you gonna respond to this guy? I'm like, who? And then I turned off the plugin. There was a guy like having a full-on conversation with me. Anyway, so there's plugins to like mute that automatically, but it has like other unforeseen consequences with real players. Anyway, all I'm trying to say is, can we please, there are so many fucking players in this game that would be absolutely thrilled to absolutely for free, just as a player moderator, ban these people that are advertising websites nonstop, advertising just stupid stuff, and scammers at the Grand Exchange that are saying buying Tebow, buying Tumakin's fucking Shadow, and they're a level 3 right off Tutorial Island with some random bot name. It's just like, oh my God, like I'm losing my mind, like dealing with these spammers, and there's like nothing being done about it. This is like the simplest issue too, because it's not even like banning bots where it's like, oh, maybe they actually are a real player. They just happen to have 180 mil thieving and nothing else going on. Maybe they're a real player. But in these situations, it is clearly against the rules to be spamming websites. So you got to have some moderation that is banning these people. Like, Jesus, I don't get it. I don't get why. Like, it's a serious like annoyance. It really is. If I was a new player rolling up to the Grand Exchange and just seeing constant advertisements and just random bots speaking, it would be such a turnoff to me. Of just like, it's just so unflattering. It's nasty looking. And the same thing goes with LMS. There are concentrated areas, Jagex, where you could easily, you could even just pay one singular. If I was paid. Even if I wasn't paid, like literally, I would do this for fucking free. If me, a singular individual that plays this game every day, could have the power to ban, just permanently mute at least for the bare minimum, I would love to just ban them as well. That'd be so much better. But to ban people that are clearly advertising websites, I would ban thousands of people within a day. I mean, within an hour, I'd probably ban thousands of people. It'd be so fucking easy. It's seriously so fucking, I wouldn't even have to hop worlds. I would just stay on one world because all the bots are hopping in between every single fucking world. I'd just hop in a world and just whenever I see it, ban it, ban it, ban it. This is so easy. I don't get it. Are you guys trying to let them like be there for long? I don't get it. Like, come on. So fucking easy. Do you care about your game, how it looks? Am I going crazy? I feel like there's gonna be people in the comments saying, hey, like, relax, man, it's okay. This is how RuneScape's always been. This is the easiest problem to fix in the entire world, and nothing ever gets done about it. I am flabbergasted by how little they care about this. It's the easiest thing to fix. Holy fuck. Anyway, I'm done with that rant, but I'm at the Grand Exchange a lot because it's just an easy teleport getting there with the Varrock Medium Diary. And I just go there a lot and I just see it every second. It's just so much. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that, but I needed to rant about that because it's so upsetting. So anyway, let me know if I'm going crazy. Also, check out the show over on Spotify. I appreciate you all. Also, check out the latest Sae Bae cast. I just had Trey Blob on for episode 250. 250 Sae Bae casts. That's wild, honestly. 250 casts. And yeah, here, I mean, honestly, here's a 250 more. It's crazy because it's not even, it's almost been 5 years, but 250 episodes is quite insane. And I did the little like YouTube playlist calculator. There is over a month worth of Sae Bae Cast audio. A month, 30 full days of Sae Bae Casts. That's like 720 something hours. So anyway, thank you for all those who like continue to support the cast and just listen to it. It's actually really cool. And the numbers on Spotify are growing. So I have to say, like, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. It's such a cool thing to be able to do, just a podcast and have it be growing to some extent. Obviously episodes kind of differ, but over on Spotify it really is a continuous sort of growth over there. YouTube has more of an algorithmic nature to it, but yeah, thank you all, and go check out those episodes if you haven't. There's going to be a few more episodes coming up this month. Got like a smaller streamer coming on, really cool dude. And then we also have 2 PVMers coming on who have been on before. We're going to have like a duo discussion, or I guess a trio discussion later this month. So check that one out as well when it comes out. But thank you all. And I will catch you boys in the next one. Peace.